Alrighty, so I basically haven't posted a video in like a whole week, but it's basically just because, like I said in the last video, Goddess team really doesn't have a whole lot of options. I do still want to mess around with the new Holy Relics at some point, and I think I might try to do that after this video if I have the time for it, which I think I do. I definitely want to try out Demon King. Not 100% sure if it's even worth messing around with Jericho's, to be honest with you, just because, you know. But either way, I wanted to make this video. Obviously, you can probably already tell by the title, so it's been spoiled a little bit. I got a comment the other day saying, hey, you know, it's hard to watch sort of like your videos to get like a feel for the unit anymore because your box is so high, which is completely fair. I totally understand that criticism. I don't know if it's even criticism, but like that point. Unfortunately, it's just one of those things where if you play the game and you're continuously working on your account, you're gonna gain buffs. You're gonna improve. You're gonna gain box CC. You're gonna gain Constellation stuff. So it's inevitable. And for me, the game is not fun unless I'm working on something. So I have constantly been trying to get to Constellation 7, which is the Constellation of Wrath, and this week I was able to do so. So, as you can see, Constellation of Pride is completely done, which is fantastic. I don't have to worry about this one anymore. I got 8,000 HP from this, 650 defense, and 600 attack, which is pretty huge. This is a massive increase in just like team CC and stuff when you're using it. It doesn't increase your box CC at all, and now I have access to Wrath, which, I'll be honest, I have zero interest in working on at the moment. I don't know how much these orbs are by themselves. I don't know if it says without like getting to one. The small orbs are 40 a piece at this point, which I think in the last one it was 35 a piece. I could be wrong. I don't know. I think they increased by 5 each constellation. I could be wrong on that, but I also get access to the Chaos Constellation of Envy now, so that's kind of nice. I've only done like one set of rolls on that so far. Getting kind of sort of close to 19 mil, but not like a huge deal. But either way, I did hit the box CC, or the Constellation buff, which is a huge difference. It makes all the world of difference right now. Like all the big whales and stuff like that in Guild Wars pretty much have C7, and they have for months and months and months. So I'm just going to mess around with it a little bit. I pulled up the Corrupt Mael video that we did. With CC food in that video, we had 276,833 CC. And now when I go to ungeared PvP with the exact same team, and I don't think any of my ult levels have changed on this. I don't think, yeah, since that video, I don't even think there was a way for me to pull this Sariel or anything like that, and I'm still in 5.6 on Mael. You can see we're at 259, 929 without food, and if I throw on the CC food, we are we are at 291, 121, which is quite a big increase. That is like 15-ish thousand increase, if I'm not mistaken. Math is hard. So that's pretty big. Obviously, that's with the CC food, which scales a little bit as well. So I'm not exactly sure, because I don't think I showed in this video without CC food on what my CC even was. But getting close to 300,000 in ungeared PvP is actually insane. I'm just gonna do some matches and stuff to get to Champ 1, and maybe we'll just call it there, because this is more or less just like an account update video at the least. But I am happy to have it. It is 9:30 a.m. by the way, so the dog is pretty active. So if she starts barking and stuff like that, I do apologize. I'll probably use geared PvP next to test out the to be expected. I'll probably use geared PvP next to test out the Demon King relic, because I do want to try it. There was that team that was going around a little bit where people were using the new Melee Liz with Demon King. I've seen a lot of people using Fraudrin as like a corny ult rush strat. Probably not going to do that one, mainly because my Fraudrin is level 100 SA6, and I just don't like ult rushing, to be fair, which, I mean, nothing against it. If you use it, completely fair, completely valid, do whatever you got to do, or want to do. But for me, ult rushing is just not really that fun for me, and I think it's a lot more fun to just like try to beat them with your skills. But and I mean skills isn't like the character's cards, not like skill based. I I suck at this game, so unfortunately this is one of those things. This happened a lot when I was on Gon's account as well, where his box CC and his Constellation and stuff were really high, and people would just forfeit. I at least want to do one match. Obviously, like, the damage and stuff like that, yeah, it is increased a little bit, but mainly it's just like your CC is so much higher, which is kind of insane. So that's very interesting. I did have my moderator mess around with the new Jormungand the other day, and he was saying that she's actually really good. I've heard other people in the community say she's really good. I have not run Ratatasker in months just because I literally was running it every single week, trying to make sure that I had the materials for it. They were just like, okay, we're not coming out with any relics at all. So I was like, okay, well, what's the point in even messing with this at this point? So I stopped running that and started running just Hrosvelgr, the bird, just to try to make sure that I was staying on top of relic upgrades. And I just stopped worrying about Ratatasker. With the new update that came out with the 2 new relics, I'm pretty sure Demon King's was the Ratatasker relic, if I'm not mistaken. And then, what was it? Oh, that sucks. She's so close. I think Jericho's was a deer relic, if I'm not mistaken. Not 100% positive on that. That was a real player. So only one of them was a rat relic, which is fine, I guess. But I was like, okay, well, you know, like I have this excess of materials, like let me use them, I guess. But I mean, then again, if they don't use them, that's just less less times I have to run the rat. So I don't really care all that much. Kind of surprised they haven't come out with the floor 4 for the deer yet. If I'm being honest, I figured they would have already done that, or at least like been working up to that kind of soonish. Which I know that there's a lot. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of relics to upgrade at this point. So getting through all those bird runs and stuff like that to get all of your relics upgraded, it's a huge undertaking. I'm 1 relic upgrade away from getting, which I think I'm only feathers away from getting my last collab character done, which if you don't know, collab characters take, they don't use the little triangle Dorito pizza slices, whatever you want to call them. I forget what those are even called. They're like Brock Strength, whatever. They all have different names. But either way, the collabs don't use those, and I'm finally getting to the point where I'm finishing those up, which is kind of a lot of stuff considering that each of those collab relics, most of the time only 1 unit is using the relic, so it's just a ton of like just time and like grinding. So yeah, we're finally getting kind of close-ish to done with that, which is nice. But yeah, it's been quite the grind. Am I gonna kill here? I actually don't know. No, I'm not. Oof. Mael is quite interesting. Dude, so the Guild Wars season is going on. First war is done as of the time of me recording this. Mael is actually insane for Guild Wars. Like, I didn't think the Goddess team, like, in PvP, yeah, the Goddess team is good, don't get me wrong. But I was like, okay, like, you know, whatever. But the fact that this guy gets stats and gives stats and stuff like that, depending on how many characters are on the field, because it's a 4v4 game mode in Guild Wars and stuff, like, this man's crazy. Apparently, every single guild is hitting 9K on their scores and stuff, which is, if you don't know, that's the max score you can hit going up against a guild. And so at this point, every guild is basically 9K'ing against each other, which means that they're all hitting max scores. It's it's tying, and then once it ties, it's up to box CC for both of the guilds combined to determine who wins the war, which is super dumb in my opinion. Do not like that at all. So it's literally just like, okay, whoever has the most whales in their guild, that's the guild that's gonna win. So everybody's like, like my guild is like, register your box CCs. Like, it's actually gonna matter this time, which is hilarious. But yeah, I don't know. It's just been kind of a funny week with Mael coming out. Definitely interested to see who the next character is. I think there's been some leaks that it could be Anglehod. I can't remember exactly how to say her name. But it's the human girl with blue hair from Four Knights that was in the newest Four Knights chapter. Actually pretty interested in that. I think the human team is really fun, and depending on what she does, I think in the story she had double single target. But I could be wrong. I think you only use her a little bit, and I wasn't paying the most attention to the story. But it was cool. I do actually like the Four Knights story, and I do think that she's really cool as a character. She reminds me of like early game Jericho for some reason. Like, obviously she's nothing like Jericho, but she has that like year one Jericho in Grand Cross feel, where I was like, oh man, like this is just a human woman character who is like really cool and I like and I want to use, and she is fitting that role right now.
What is it? What is it? What is it?
She's gonna bark. I'm sorry. I don't know how to get her to stop. But anyways, yeah, it's oh no.
Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here.
Quite an interesting time in the game right now. I'm glad. Like, I don't know. We were getting fortnights, and then they were like, okay, we're done with fortnights for right now. And then we got a chapter with this update, which was kind of strange considering that the festival was Mael. So it's kind of like going back to 7 Deadly Sins stuff. And then if the mid-festival character is Anglehod, then it goes, ow, God, you're biting me, that hurts. Then it goes back to the Fortnite stuff, which is, you know, that's cool. I'm glad they're sort of, kind of, like, mix and matching, because I do like the Fortnite's content, and I think that it's, like, new and fresh and interesting stuff. So I'm glad that we're getting more of that, because I think it's, you know, 7 Deadly Sins. Obviously, it's a 7 Deadly Sins game and everything, but we've gone through a lot of this stuff already. So I was really surprised to see them go back and add Mael. I guess they were just like, okay, like it's finally time to add some support for the Goddess team, because like God knows we just don't get any. Okay, thank God we didn't pop the res on Melly there. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still having a lot of fun with the game. I mean, obviously I play it just in my spare time, but hitting C7 has been a really big motivation to just like have fun and mess around with stuff now that I'm you know, now that I'm whaley and have like big CC when it comes to just playing PvP and stuff like that. So that's been quite fun to play with. Obviously, it's just a novelty, and it'll wear off a little bit. And honestly, for showcases and stuff like that, like you literally seen those first 3 people just forfeited the game. That's probably going to happen a lot more, which is maybe not the greatest, especially for showcasing characters and stuff like that, of course. But like I said in the beginning, I totally understand the point of like, hey, like watching your showcases just doesn't really... that's unfortunate. I forgot about that. It's like, you know, watching your showcases doesn't necessarily give the best like representation of the character considering how good your box is, and I totally get it. But like I said, if I'm not working on something, I'm just not going to be playing the game. Like the game gets boring if you're not working on like building up your box, working on your characters, because that was like the biggest thing for a long time. Once I got all of my characters to level 100 SA6, I was like, this is kind of boring, you know? Like, I was just like, well, you know, this, the grind is not really here anymore. Like, I was just like, okay, I'm sitting on an excess of materials. I'm just waiting for a character to come out so I can just go ahead and max them out kind of thing. And I don't know. It just, it's definitely something to get used to, I guess. I don't know if we can kill here. I know that I have Ripple of Light on for the first attack, but I don't know if a level 2 is going to kill. We definitely have to kill the melee because that ultimate is too big to ignore. I think we already had Mark of Retribution on, actually. Oh, nice. Okay. Do we kill somebody with 355? Nice. Nice. Actually, that's going to deal damage to me. Not quite a kill. Mael is very tanky, by the way. That is one thing. Like, obviously, he doesn't have a revive or anything like the annoying Melly Liz, which, thank God. If we had to deal with 2 revives in the meta right now, I'd be fuming. But, yeah, it's, I don't know. The game is fun right now as far as I'm concerned. Like, I'm glad the Goddess team is kind of fun. Obviously, meta is completely subjective to everybody. Like, this is not the most exciting meta we've ever been in. I normally like the metas where there's, like, 3 or more teams that can be used at one time, which they can definitely bring that back soon. Like if depending on what Anglehod does, I just don't think I'm saying her name right, but depending on what she does for the human team, even if she's like a backline buffer or something like that, which would be a little less exciting, but I hope she's a frontliner, considering Sigurd is like the go-to backliner at the moment. If she can bring the human team back up to par a little bit, that would be great. And then, honestly, I think we're only like 1 decent unknown character away from having the unknown team back in the meta as well. So if they could pull that off, then we could have potentially human team, goddess team, demon team, and unknown team able to be ran at the same time. Hopefully. That's probably too much to ask for, because typically, unfortunately, they're really bad at balancing stuff, and they're like, okay, we're going to release a new human character, and it's going to make the human team vastly better than the other teams, which makes the other teams not usable, and then they screw the whole balancing act up. But we'll see if they're able to pull that off. But either way, I'm going to set up the team for Demon King, and we'll try to mess around with that a little bit in the next video, so stay tuned. I don't know how many videos I'm going to put out this week, I'll be honest. I'm assuming it's going to be this one and the Demon King video, but I think the new banner does come out this week, so I'm definitely interested to see that. Actually, that pretty much guarantees, I don't know that I'm going to do a news video, because I typically just, you know, whatever, unless it's like a actually like really big interesting patch, which it is a mid-festival patch, so it could be interesting enough for me to want to make a video on it. But typically I'm probably just gonna mess around with the new character when they drop. So either way, that'll definitely be at least one other video this week. So hopefully you guys are still enjoying the game. I know that it can be kind of a lull for some people and then exciting for other people. Just depends on how interested in the game you are at the moment. A lot of the times I know people get burnt out super easy, and gacha games are very easily burnoutable. So either way, hope you guys are having a nice day. Hope you have a good weekend. I will see you guys later.